Hello everybody. So today I'm so today's video I would like to make on React. So on my last video I have covered about the basic tutorial of HTML, then about the basic tutorial of CSS. Those two knowledge will be really helpful today to learn about React. So it's gonna be few video I'm gonna make about React. I'm gonna start all the way from scratch, slowly develop a website using React. The first information I'd like to share with you that what is React and what is the uses of React. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the theoretical description. In short form, React basically a JavaScript framework which is built by Facebook. So in current technology, in current software industry, any company, most of the company I would say in all over the world, when they have a product is a web-based product, they basically use React. So it's a great tool or framework to learn current at this moment, and also it will help you down the line once you are master on React to get a job, because at this moment the current job market is craving for a React web developer. So I'll try my best to go to to be as simple as I can. If you're not a web developer, still that is fine, because pretty much you are learning today how to develop a web page using React. So today's video basically I'm going to cover very basic portion of the React. First of all, how to configure React or install React on your computer. Then how to write our first line of code using React. So I'll try to give as much as information as I can so that it really become handy for you, whoever wants to learn React from the very basic level. All right, so few things you need to do when you first working with React. First of all, you need to install a couple of tools or a couple of software. So the first software I would recommend you to install is Node. So Node.js. So let's first download Node.js. So if you are a Windows user, download the Windows version. If you're a Mac user, download the Mac version. So I'm using Mac. So basically I'm gonna install the Mac version. So it's already been configured in my computer, so I'm not gonna do the same thing over, but just for the info where you should get the Node.js. I will come to the later part. Why do you need Node and what is the function of Node? The another tool I would recommend the download is VS Code as an IDE. It's very lightweighted IDE and it's such a intuitive and user-friendly. So basically a lot of programming language you can perform using this one IDE. So if you have a Mac, just simply download for Mac. If you are a Windows user, please download the Windows version. Once you download it, then basically you can start typing the React code. So as you see, this is my VS Code. So the next, so in the VS Code, I created a directory called Learn React. So if you want, you can also follow the same naming convention, Learn React. The next thing I would like to do once you install the Node, so a couple of things you want to test it out whether the Node is installed properly or not. First thing first, Just type node-v. This is the version that I'm currently using. And another thing is npm-v. And this is the npm version. So what is npm? So once you install Node, it's automatically installed on your computer. npm is for Node Package Manager. So it's a package manager basically to download any dependencies that you need for your project. Few other things I would like to share, which is the Windows user. So for the Windows user, I want you to remember when you installing the Node, you will have a pop-up comes up, tools for native modules. So make sure you check this information. Automatically install the necessary tools. Note this will also install Chocolatey. This will pop up in a new window after the installation completes. So make sure you check that option. And once you finish installation of Node, I'm referring to the Windows user, you're gonna have a command prompt popped up, and you're gonna see this information: install additional tool for Node.js. So you just click on press any key to continue from a keyboard. It will resume the installation for you, because all the dependencies you need to have on your computer before you working with the Node Package Manager. So if it's successfully installed on your computer, you basically will see when you run this node version command, you will see the version, and when you run the npm-v command, you will see the npm version. All right. So now I'm gonna go to the directory of learn React, the directory I have created. So go to your directory, and few things we're gonna configure. Also, once you have VS Code, you need to install two important extensions that will really help you to when you're working with React and configuring your code, formatting your code. Those two extensions will be really helpful. So once you have the VS Code, go to the extension. So in the extension, basically, I want you to install first simple React snippets. So basically, it will help you to autocomplete all the intelligence and everything to write down in future. So make sure you install simple React snippets. Is developed by Burke Holland. The another one I want you to install is Prettier Code Formatter. This is also very handy. When you have this install, it will help you to format your code in a prettier way. And this is developed by Espen Pedersen. Then another thing I would like to do, I want you to do, it's configuring your settings. So go to code preference settings. Then if you click on this settings.json, so open settings. So if I click on this, it will open settings and add this information: editor dot format on shape true. So if you don't have this filled into your settings.json, please feel free to add this information. This is your personal settings that you can configure however you want to related to your VS Code. All right then. So let's get started. So first thing, using npm, I want you to install create React app. So since I already been installed, but still I want to show you what is the syntax you're supposed to type. So npm npm I dash g create react app latest. So whatever the latest version, basically it will install that package for you. So since I already been installed, so I don't want to reinstall again. So now if it installed successfully, you can type create react app. So if you install correct successfully, you're going to see this message that please specify the project directory. So it's asking me if I want to create a React project to specify the project directory. All right then. So now let's create a app. Since you already have installed the React app package, create React app package. That app package we're gonna use to create a React project. So the command you're gonna do to create a React project is just simply type create React app and the name of the project. So let's type the name of the project is React app. You can name anything, so it doesn't really matter. Just to be consistent, I want to put a React app. So once you do that, it will do all the works for you. It will create a workplace. It will create a React app project. So all the dependency you need, it will do that job for you. You don't have to manually configure anything. So let's just wait to get it done. All right, this is the message you're gonna see whenever it's get it done. So now let's check our VS Code IDE and the directory. So if you open React app, you're gonna see this folder structure. This workplace is automatically created for you. So the node modules, basically you don't have to worry about anything. All the dependencies and packages, it's downloaded for you. Then you have a directory called public, and this is another directory you're gonna have is source. So basically we're gonna write all of our code inside the source. And you have some other information: git ignore, package.json, readme, and everything. All right then. So now the things you have to do is to start the server. So basically, starting the server, it's helping you to view your website live. So when the server is running, so you're gonna, if you write down any code, you're gonna see those changes output inside a web page. So the command to start the server is npm dash start. Okay. So it's telling me to go inside the project folder. So since we already have created project, so cd React app. So our project name is React app. So now write down the command npm start. So here we go. The web server has kicked off. So basically it's using the port number 3000. So localhost colon 3000 is gonna launch your web server. So any changes you made, any new code you have been developed is gonna be visible in this page. All right, so now we're gonna write our first program called Hello World. So whatever the file you are seeing inside the source directory, I would request to all of you delete everything, because everything we're gonna develop from scratch. So you don't have to modify anything, because you're basically gonna build everything from scratch. So inside the source directory, pretty much I'm deleting all the files I have. So in total you should have 8 files. All right, good. So it's empty now in the source folder. So inside the source folder, now we're gonna create a file called index.js. So index.js, basically we're gonna write our first code, hello world. So once I remove everything from the source package, let's check it out. What our browser is saying is empty, because those information you have seen earlier was rendered right from the source directory, the previous files that has been generated by the application, by the create React app comment. So we don't need those, so that's why it's completely blank. So we're gonna write something and it's gonna display over here. So first of all, if you are not familiar with JavaScript, still okay, because I'll try to be more descriptive enough as much as I can so that you get a sense of the JavaScript commands and syntax. So basically over here, we're gonna use ES6 JavaScript. So some of the ES6 basically it's follow the structure of object-oriented programming. So it has class, it has objects, and all the mechanism we have learned in OOP, object-oriented programming. So pretty much it follows all the same principles of object-oriented programming. So if you don't know, still okay, but I'll try to be descriptive as much as I can. Still, for your own understanding, you can Google it, try to get more info about ES6 JavaScript. That will really help you to give more information. All right, so first thing first, I'm gonna import the packages that I'm gonna use in my code. So import React from React, ended by semicolon. Then I'm gonna need another package called React DOM from React DOM packages. Then I'm gonna type, so this comment, constant comment, it's basically a syntax in ES6. You're not gonna see in vanilla JavaScript this syntax is not available in vanilla JavaScript. So this syntax basically newly developed in ES6 JavaScript. So another thing, so if you try to do some Google, try to understand basic syntax of the ES6 JavaScript, you will get to know. But const means basically a constant. So if you declare any object as a constant, it means is down the line you cannot change this information. So I'm going to create a constant called element. So I'm going to introduce some HTML syntax, H1, which stands for header 1, and I'm going to print a message called hello world, ended up with semicolon. So let's first print this information in console.log. Which is element. All right, so let me describe to you about these two packages I have imported. So this name, you define your own name. It can have React, it can have the R, anything you want to. So basically the information is, this is the main information, the React, this is the original package name and React-DOM. So for my convenience, I define this name so that whenever I use in my code, I'm gonna call these packages using this name. So if I want to use React DOM, instead of React-DOM, I'm gonna call the packages React DOM. So for my own convenience, I name these packages with some reasonable name. So I would recommend to you also follow the same pattern. If some packages has a complicated name, give a name by yourself so that you can use with that particular name. So let's save it. Now let's go back to our server. So refresh it. It doesn't show anything. All right. So where this information is showing. So if you are, so basically my default browser is Google Chrome. That's why it launched the Chrome automatically. So whatever your default browser, whenever you start the npm start, when you start the server, it's gonna launch in your default browser. So what you can do, open the developer tools. So the easiest way, open the developer tools, just click on inspect. So here now we're gonna go to console, and you will see an object is being created into the console for this web page. Expand this. As you see now, the type is header1, is a React element that we have created, and the value is hello world. And all the other information where your index.js is located, all other informations. So trying to explain to you that here we basically didn't render that information into this website. We just using the typical vanilla JavaScript code to print this information. So the console.log basically printing the information hello world inside the object. So you can, how do you see that object? Just open your developer tools from Chrome, then go to network tab and open that object. So now let's say if I want to render that text into the web server, how are we gonna do that? Then we're gonna use this React DOM. So let's type React DOM, then dot the attribute called render. So as you see, it has two properties. One is element and another is container. So the element is, we already created the element, we just call that element, and the container, so where you want to display this message. So you need to have a target location. In order to understand that, let's open the public directory. So this is the web page, this is the page is showing through the web server, index.html. So if you open that, So let's check it out what we have. So basically, as it's saying, you need to enable JavaScript to run this app. So this all your JavaScript code is gonna be flashed out over here. So it's already been linked with this. Whenever you create a file called index.js, it's already been linked, so you don't have to worry about anything. So you just need to define the information that you want to flash it out. So in my earlier previous HTML courses and CSS courses, actually, I have shown that how you define an ID for a div. It's a division. So inside the body, everything is gonna flash it out under this division. So the division here, as you see, the name is root. So we're gonna call this ID and flash it out our information inside this ID root. So it's another typical JavaScript keyword. It's called document. Then the attribute we're going to use get element by ID, and the name of the ID is root, and you ended up with semicolon. That's it. So we pretty much use both packages. The first package is creating the React element, since we didn't use it, but as long as we have the package, we can access all the necessary function or element that we need to inject into our code from this React package. Same goes for these packages. So we are using the render method from these packages. So we call this React DOM.render. Basically, it flashes out the information. So basically, what are you want to flash it out and where you want to flash it out. So first is the information that you want to flash it out, and second is where you want to flash it out. So I want to flash it out into the ID called root. So I saved it. Let's open the browser. As you see, it flashed out hello world. Let's check it out using our developer tools. How does it look like now in the back of the code? So same approach, click on inspect. As you see, it's in the under the elements, it shows that it flashed it out inside the div called hello world. So ID is root, the h1, what we define in our index.js is showing those information over here. So all this code, all this information, as you see, is from index.html. So that's pretty much in my first video. So basically the things we have covered: first, how to install Node.js; second, how to install VS Code; what is the uses of Node.js. Then we have covered how you're going to install using npm package manager the create React app. Then using create React app, I create a project called React app. Inside the projects, the workplace has been created for you. So basically you just need to fit in your code. So inside the source, I have deleted 8 files. Then I created this index.js where we're gonna write our first JavaScript code. Then I imported 2 packages. One is React and one is React DOM. Then I define a element as a constant, hello world. Then this information I flash it out into our web server. So that's the end of this video. So I'm gonna move on, gradually improve our knowledge into the next video, building in a website using React. Thanks a lot and have a nice one.